Thanks God, the weather is clean and clear. Now we are entering the last day of December meditation class, and I am going to share to you a new story about perfectly bloom into love, perfectly bloom into love. But before guided meditation, I will share to you a new story about beautiful mind, short new story, beautiful mind. Let's start our meeting by discussing a beautiful topic about a beautiful mind. When I was still young, there was a beautiful movie. The title is Beautiful Mind, sharing the story of a scholar. His name was John Nash, who was healed by a serious mental illness. John Nash. To make the story short, the reason behind why Dr. John Nash was completely healed from schizophrenia, it is because of the beautiful mind. Some of you may raise the question, what is beautiful mind? That is the topic that I'm going to share to you. What is beautiful mind? Mind can be the source of poison. Mind can be the source of medicine as well. It depends on how skillful you are to train your mind. How skillful you are. If you never train your mind, you put the mind as your own master, you follow anything that appears in the mind, then mind can become the source of poison. If you think negatively about someone, you speak negatively. If you have bad mood, then you reacting to bad mood by being angry to your wife. That is what I mean by mind as the source of poison. Beautiful mind is the opposite. The mind is no longer the source of poison, but the source of medicine. That is exactly what happened in Dr. John Nash in the beautiful film of Beautiful Mind. To make the story clean and clear, the mind is like the field in which there are all seeds there. In the mind, there are all seeds, all. Pain, pleasure, sad, glad, sorrow, joy, bad, good. All seeds are available there in the mind. Some seeds we inherited from our ancestors. Some seeds we got it from the childhood as a result of interaction. All seeds are there in the field of mind. All seeds. What I mean by the mind as the source of poison, people do not intentionally train the mind. As a result, it's like garden which has never been cleaned. There are a lot of weeds and wild trees there. What I mean by beautiful mind is the opposite. We take good care of the mind as good as we take good care of the garden. We pull the weeds every day. We take good care of the dry leaf. That is what I mean by the directions of beautiful mind. The following question then, how to take good care of the beautiful garden of the mind? The name of the game is practice. But before we proceed into practice, it is very important to choose the wise environment, especially because it is hard to imagine that beautiful seed will grow beautifully when the environment is unsuitable. Choose your environment wisely. As an example, even the Holy Buddha surround himself with 1,250 monks just to make sure that his environment was a very supportive environment. The dangerous things can happen to your mind. Your mind can become the source of poison if you do not choose your environment wisely. What I mean by the wise environment is the environment of the people who can see the positive seeds inside you. The environment who have limited critic to you, who have limited conflict with you. But the most important thing is the people who can share each other to see the positive and the healthy side inside us. That is what I mean by beautiful mind. That is also the most important reason. For the last 20 years, I developed my own spiritual family here in Bali, the spiritual family of compassion. Because the environment is very important. Without healthy environment, it is hard to imagine that healthy seed can grow beautifully. Choose your environment wisely. Use feeling as your own guide. Grow only in the place where you feel well, where you feel comfortable. The first one, choose the environment wisely. The second one, which is the most important thing, is practice. Practice. Like learning to ride bicycle. Practice is the only name of the game. What exactly the practice that can transform the mind as source of poison into the mind as source of medicine? Be a compassionate witness. Anything can happen in life, bad experience like being blamed by the others, or you experience the upward energy movement in your your kundalini. Both bad and good experience. Remember, you are not the experience, you are not the experiencer, you are the third. You are the witness. Take the same distance to both positive and negative. Take the same distance to sad, glad. Take the same distance to sorrow and joy. Remember, you are not the experience, you are not the experiencer, you are the witness. That is the most important practice. Not only in meditation, but also in daily life. Not only in meditation, but also in daily life. If you are an advanced traveler in spiritual journey, you are even suggested to be a witness in the dream. That is what I mean by meditation 24 hours a day. Even in the dream, you keep being a witness. You are not those happen inside. You are not those things happen outside. You are the witness. To put it more precisely, the compassionate witness. As further explanation, in Sanskrit world, there is terminology parikalpita, paratantra, and parinispana. What I mean by parikalpita as part of the journey from the mind as source of poison into the mind as source of medicine. Parikalpita is the collective mental energy that we inherited from the surrounding environment. For example, most people are very afraid about the snake. But as we all know, our body naturally is not the food of the snake. Naturally, snake is not our enemy. But since we have been educated from the childhood, snake is dangerous, snake is dangerous, snake is dangerous, then every time you meet a snake, something very bad happen inside. Fear, want to run away, dangerous. That is what I mean by parikalpita. So that's why not all the things that appear from the mind will become something that you need to follow. In the terminology of parikalpita is what is it? Collective state of being. We learn from the environment. The second one is paratantra. Paratantra means everything is interdependent. There is nothing which is perfectly independent here in this realm. Everything is interdependent. Sad depend on the glad. There will be no deep happiness if there is no deep sadness. If you remove the darkness, you will remove the light as well. Interdependent. That is another approach of training the mind from the mind as source of poison into the mind as source of poison, as source of medicine. Excuse me. Everything is interdependent. If you deeply understand the idea of interdependence, you will not be easily get angry to the others. Because anger is not something independent. Someone who is angry to you, it is not something independent. It depends on the others. Maybe his lack of sleep in the previous night. Maybe he has a problem with the wife. He has financial problem, a lot of things. And you yourself also play an important role in making the others angry. Very interdependent. Once again, if you deeply understand the interdependent nature of everything, you are no longer become the victim of the mind. You begin to become the masters of the mind. His Holiness Sim Nhat Hanh once was asked by one of his Western students, what is Zen? Because His Holiness Sim Nhat Hanh is a Zen master. What is Zen? Zen is this mic. This mic is Zen. Because Zen consists of non-Zen. That's beautiful answer. If you see flower is not something independent. In the flower there is sunshine. In the flowers there is the soil. There is the hard work of the farmer and the gardener, a lot of things. The second one is very important, paratantra. Everything is interdependent. If you deeply understand that everything is interdependent, those people who serve violence, they are not independent. Maybe they have a problematic childhood. The terrorists, as another example, they are not independent. They have wrong understanding about their religion. Their childhood may be very problematic. They have also very problematic school. A lot of things. If you deeply understand the interdependent nature of everything, you will grow from the victim of mind into the master of the mind. As a result, the mind is no longer the source of poison. The mind begins to be the source of medicine. The last one after parikalpita, paratantra, is parinispana. This is the fruit of training the mind. What I mean by parinispana is everything is perfect as they are. Coconut is perfect on the beach. The pine tree is perfect on the mountain. Frangipani is perfect in the dry land. Lotus is perfect in the wet pond. In the moment of raining, duck jump into the pond. Chicken hide under the tree. They are different, but they are happy as they are. That is parinispana. That is also the most important characteristics of beautiful mind. Another explanation about beautiful mind. As you cannot separate water with wet, you cannot separate flower with beauty. You cannot separate wisdom and compassion. To put it more precisely, what I mean by beautiful mind is the combination between wisdom and compassion. Wisdom which is inseparable with compassion, as natural as water which is wet, as natural as flower which is beautiful. That is what I mean by beautiful mind. The mind which is no longer become the source of poison, but the mind which is the source of medicine. The journey to go there, remember, first of all, choose your environment wisely, because the mind is filled with all seeds there. But the beautiful seed will grow beautifully when you choose your environment wisely. The second one, which is more important, the name of the game is practice, practice, practice. Practice make your mind is like beautiful guided, well managed, beautiful guided. Practice. What I mean by practice is continuously to become a compassionate witness. Anything happen, negative or positive, sad or glad, pain or pleasure, remember, you are not the experience, you are not the experiencer, but you are the compassionate witness. As a result, if you keep practicing as compassionate witness, the flower which is beautifully bloom within is wisdom which is inseparable with compassion. Compassion is no longer become the order of Holy Scripture. Compassion become your natural nature. As natural as water which is wet, as natural as flower which is beautiful. In this stage, loving kindness and compassion become effortless, because your natural nature is wisdom and compassion. That is beautiful mind. That is also the mind that healed John Nash from the dangerous mental illness of schizophrenia. The key word is grow from the mind which is source of poison into the mind which is source of medicine. What is the mind which is full of a source of poison? Negative, full of critique, full of conflict inside. What is the mind as source of medicine? Remember, Parinisvana. Everything is perfect as they are. Frangipani grow in the dry land. Lotus grow in the wet pond. They are different, but they are beautiful as they are. That is wisdom. But remember, wisdom is inseparable with compassion. That is what exactly I mean by beautiful mind.